Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry, and this is Tainted Grail. Now I've been waiting a few days to record this game. It's an adaptation of a board game that I backed on Kickstarter, and actually I'm still waiting for my physical copy of the game, because I was too broke at the time to afford split wave shipping, which was to get the main game first and then all the expansions later. So I've actually got to wait till everything's ready before I can get my goodies and gorgeous miniatures to paint. In the meantime, however, all of us who backed the project have this wonderful digital adaptation of the game to play, and I'm looking forward to it. This is a game based on Arthurian legend, and I do like the fact that the developers and creators of the game are going back more to the Celtic roots of Arthurian legend than the high medieval and late medieval adaptations, which often felt a bit anachronistic, given that there are many strong themes of Arthurian legend, such as defending Britain from the Anglo-Saxon invaders, who obviously had invaded some 5 or 6 centuries prior to many of the later myths being written down. Now, there's going to be a lot of Arthurian themes in this game, like the Fisher King, for example. When the king dies, the land dies. The sense of the corruption spreading because there's something wrong at the top, and the ruler or monarch being a representation of the actual state of health of the nation. Let's dive in and have some fun. Also, this build isn't publicly available yet. This game will go into early access. At the moment, this is just an alpha. A lot of things don't quite work the way they're supposed to, and that's even written here. So there is a bug I've heard of with saving and reloading crashing the game instead of saving and reloading. If that is the case, this will be a standalone episode and I won't be able to record and upload anymore until that gets fixed. If I am able to save and reload and actually, end episodes and begin new episodes, I would love to continue and play on. So let's have a read through this, shall we? Hey there! We hope you're excited to check out an early version of our game. And trust us, we are probably even more excited because we finally get to share it with Yo. That's not even a word. But before we let you do that, we need to stress out a few more important things. Also unpronounceable. Too long, didn't read. Just write it. This is an alpha. A lot of things won't work as well as we'd like to, so expect a lot of bugs and incomplete features. Such as the phrase, "We hope you're excited to check out an early version of our game." Yes. We would love to hear your thoughts. If you are one of the first people to actually play the game, and because of that, after you're done, we would like you to fill out a short survey. Please let us know what you thought about the game. Yeah, okay, well, if there's an in-game button to click on screen to go fill it out afterwards, that's fine. Otherwise I can go on the Discord server and ask them later, We will be collecting some data while you're playing. Don't worry. It's nothing horrible. For example, we want to know which character was picked by most players, where they died, and so on. But since the law demands it, we are informing you about it. And quite right too. By clicking I agree below, you allow us to collect your data. You can click here to opt out of any data collection. The mouse cursor doesn't change when I click over these links. So hopefully they'll work, but I'm just going to carry on. Because I'd like the game creators to be able to gather some information to help them make it better. There are no spoilers for the board game in here. Our digital game is a totally different experience with a different storyline. Now that's interesting, because I wanted to get onto the storyline of the board game, but that's okay. And here goes the full story. This is an alpha version of the game, which means that a lot of things don't work as well as we'd like them to. We've worked our donkeys off. I'm sorry, that's not how you spell asses. That's asses, which are related to donkeys. We've set ourselves an extremely ambitious goal. We want this game to be one of the best story-driven experiences on the market, but you can imagine that this is quite a high bar to set, so we know that there are still so many things we have to work on. This is true, it's an alpha. Hopefully it will improve as it goes through to beta, and then early access, and playtesting, whatever, and then final release, right? It's all good, yeah? We're not expecting perfection here. Yet. Bugs, balancing, plenty of features to implement, a lot of content to add, a lot of visuals to polish, a lot of code to optimize, and all that is on our lists. For example, here are the features we're working on right now. Balancing and enhancing the entire combat flow and character progression. We're testing an entire new feature in which you will be managing the starting town of Quanacht. Wait, that's not quite how you spell Connaught, but Connaught. A proper gameplay flow with 2 to 4 heroes at the same time. A weather system. A dynamic map in which you'll be surprised by ever-changing flow of weirdness, changing enemy spawns, and so on. Please note that's weirdness spelled with a Y, so it's referring to the Anglo-Saxon concept of the weird. That is fate or destiny, and yet that's not what we mean by a modern fate or destiny. When we say fate or destiny, we mean the final destination, the point at which things arrived. The Celtic and Anglo-Saxon weird is not the moment, the final destination, it's the moment of decision, where everything changes, which then leads inexorably to whatever final destination you headed towards at that point in time. Events and situations that will surprise you from time to time and force you to make some tough choices, and many more. Also, another important thing, since if you are playing this, you're probably a backer of our Kickstarter campaign for the board game, thanks to your support, by the way. Well, yeah, I mean, I could have, donated my copy to someone else, but I really want to get into this and enjoy it. You will not spoil the board game for yourself while playing this demo. Please note that this is not a simple board game conversion. It is a totally different beast. But no, it can't be different than, it can be different to or different from. It's a totally different beast from a board game. While we are extremely proud of our board game, we deeply believe that every medium has its own strengths, and because of that, while designing a game for PC, we knew that we needed to start from scratch and try to create an amazing story-driven RPG experience, and not the best digital port of a board game. That being said, I believe that this is relatively similar to the board game, but different in its own ways. So don't be afraid. Playing our digital game won't spoil the board game for you. However, if there are similarities, I may enjoy the fact that I'll be more familiar with the rules when I actually come to sit down and play for the first time ever. This demo and the story inside was created specifically for the digital game and is not present in the board game at all. If anything, it might get you in the setting of the world of Avalon better. So no worries. Jump right on in. One last thing. If you're one of the first people to actually play this game, and that's corrupted, I'm afraid. That is we would something people to see the first fruits of our work. Welcome? I'm not sure. All of this happened only thanks to your support on the Kickstarter. Having said that, we know that we have an amazing community and we love to listen to you guys, so make sure to leave your feedback on the game. We'll ask you to fill in a survey while you're done playing the demo, and feel free to join our Discord. Alright, let's start the adventure now. Thanks and have an amazing journey, the Awakened Realms digital team. Yeah, I'm good with this.
Quanacht is dying. Its barren fields provide little food, and its crumbling walls offer no protection. As the power of the Guardian men here fails, the weirdness creeps ever closer. Twisting places, creatures, and even space itself. Despite this, the people of the farmhold refuse to leave. Instead, Lord Yvain led 4 of their best on a desperate mission to Camelot. They promised to bring back help. They never returned. Now those left behind are growing desperate. They will try to bestow the burden of their fate on someone else. New heroes, with an even slimmer chance of success.
And so, of course, now after playing this, I'm going to go look up Sir Yvain, also occasionally spelled Sir Yvain, and see what he did in Arthurian mythology. Just remind myself. And then see how it correlates to leading a failed expedition here. So, I don't know exactly how this differs from a board game. In the board game, the story is told in multiple chapters and travels through time, and you play a different group of heroes each time, going on a different quest, a different story. That's all part of one big story. Yes. So you got an early chapter around the time that the Anglo-Saxon invasion of Hengist and Horsa comes into the land. Then you might have a later chapter. I think you got a part to do with the colonising of Ireland at one point, and they're tied into this story of trying to cleanse the corruption, I believe, and that eventually there'll be some kind of end for it all. Right. Beor, a local smith known for short temper and incredible strength. He does his best to conceal a festering, unhealable wound in his side that he received under mysterious circumstances. Or we have Eli, or Eli, an outcast whose entire family perished in the weirdness. She makes a modest living supplying healing herbs and roots to the locals. Choose. Choose. This demo is still an early build, and both characters have the same combat skills. Your choice will only influence the story and some exploration skills. In the future versions, all characters will have completely unique asymmetric skill sets. So, as far as I remember, there's 4 or 5 different character archetypes. You have like the warrior, the controller, the healer. I can't remember what the other one is. And you'll have one of each character archetype in every time period in the board game. In the computer game, I have no idea. Now, Beor is a character from a board game. Eli is not. So I'm going to go with him to get a little more familiar with the character, because if they both have the same skills, it may very well be based on his skill set, as she is a new character, so her skill set may be a little less developed at this time. Also, the unhealable wound is...
in this dark hall for the better part of the day. The bitterness of your ale, a good match for the bitterness of your thoughts.
Okay, so this is pronounced Quanacht. So we have 120 of 120 health, 100 of 100 resolve, and 100 of 100 sanity. We have something that looks like wood, that looks like coins. We have a key, a something, and a something.
They found you insufficient. They left you behind like a broken tool.
So the uncurable wound is definitely in keeping with the Fisher King. Of course, the wound caused by the doleful strike are inflicted by Sir Balin, the Knight of the Two Swords. The wound in your side suddenly throbs and you punch it in response, pain and rage overwhelming you for a moment. Only then you notice one of the farmhold's guardians standing in front of you, his mouth agape. So after these first couple of sections, I wasn't sure if this was going to be fully voiced or not. That was a rather sudden drop-off. Maybe these lines haven't been recorded yet. Maybe they're not planned to be recorded. I don't know, but I do enjoy reading them myself. What now? Raise your fist and threaten him. No, he's a guard. We're strong, but we don't want to be too gruff, so what do you want now?
I am sorry, but it's your turn to lay an offering.
Oh no, what have we got to offer? Not very much. For God's forsaken offering. It was not your turn today, and even if it were, you know the truth. The Menhir's protection won't last. Oblivion stretches its cold hand towards Kuanacht farmhold after claiming many other parts of Avalon. So yes, there's a theme to the game of needing to light the shrines of the Menhirs or bring them offerings so that they can then protect the land from the incoming corruption, the encroaching corruption. Let the wyrdness come and take this damned place. No, I'm not going to say, begone! I'm not in the mood to help anyone. What offering? You must have read the ledger wrong. It's not my turn. I'll go with that.
The knights, we changed our ledger. You are now first on the list.
So interestingly, while this game does go back more towards the Celtic roots of Arthurian mythology, it does include quite a bit of the later stuff as well. Now, the word knight, of course, is an Anglo-Saxon word, knecht, which then goes to the medieval knecht, which then morphs into knight over later centuries. And it means king's rider, a man trusted with a horse and the responsibility to do the king's bidding. Anger seized in you again, causing you a wound to burn. He did what? I want to speak with him.
He went out.
The guard's pained expression makes it obvious it won't be possible. What? Into the wyrdness outside? That can't end well.
He's from bloody Camelot. We are not to question his methods. Please, just go and see to the offering.
Very well. Time passes. Your wound throbs again as if something was trying to rip free and join the rolling clouds of weirdness outside. Sitting here any longer would be torture. Let's leave. Welcome to Tainted Grail's pre-alpha. Since it's an early version, please forgive us for interrupting your game in order to explain some things. Oh, by all means, go ahead. These things at the bottom part of the screen are your quick slots. You can drag and drop items from your character's inventory, accessed by the I key, to this bar, and they will be easier to select. Really useful with weird candles. You can press Alt on the keyboard to highlight all nearby locations. Useful if you're not sure you visited every location or picked up every treasure on your way. There's a lot of stuff happening here. These 4 icons on the top are shortcuts to certain things. Quest log, character sheet, inventory, and a resting functionality. Then you have 2 skills you can use on the map, and your character portrait and info, so 2 map skills, character portrait, numbers. Double click on the portrait to get to your character panel. Alright, we can zoom in and out with the mouse wheel, draw movement path, execute movement path, so click to move, double click to click to plan, double click to confirm, details in demo locations only, click right mouse to, okay, unselect hero. So that's more for party management with multiple heroes. So T is end turn. I'm probably going to forget these and I'll have to look them up later. I'm just going to quick paranoid check. All good. So T for turn, Q for quest, I for equipment, so inventory, S for statuses, C for skills, so C for character, not S for skill, got it. Alt floating tooltip hide, F5 puts it, so yeah. Might cause problems in demo, yeah. Space, hold to speed up movement animation. Let's take a little while then to look at these. The last days of Kuanacht. The town of Kuanacht, your hometown, is dying. Its barren fields provide little food and its crumbling walls offer no protection. In the past months, many townsfolk lost their loved ones to the wyrdness, brigands or wild beasts. The last remainder of the glory days of this place is the guardian Menhir, but its protection is waning. Oblivion stretches its cold hand towards the farmhold after claiming many other parts of Avalon. The Menhir is always lit by candles, and with a daily offering at its gnarled feet, it's time to lay one today and hope that this small sacrifice will push back the wyrdness a bit. Let's see if we need to get it from anywhere. So, no other quests, just this one. And there is our Menhir. So here is our character panel. Can we turn him around? We cannot turn him around. Okay. So we've experienced the next level. Movement, attack, armor, evasion and resistance. So we have runes. It's interesting. So we have attack and defense. These will probably come when we gain experience. Exploration, okay. We seem to just have this one. Can we click on these to find out what they are? No, we can't. And skills. These are combat skills. So combat is to do with managing... Can I? No, I can't find out what these do. These might just upgrade the numbers. Okay, so upgrades, effects. So we have Beor's Rusty Hammer, plus 5% damage, and Blacksmith's Apron, a piece of leather and some fabric sewn together, plus 1 armor. I'm imagining that equipping different items here will not change the way he looks, but you never know. We have a key to Arthurian's Forge, some mead, and some food. 5 health and 5... Where's the muscle? Resolve. Okay. And this will be 5 sanity and 5 resolve. Okay, good to know. Then we have quests. And I imagine that's those 4 buttons there. Well, now we have character sheet, we have perseverance, increase in damage and armor, and dominating presence. Okay, so it appears that resolve is used to fuel abilities. We have character sheet and numbers, right.
The local Menhir now towers above you, weathered and cracked, its ribbons flapping in the wind. The thought that this tired old thing is the only protection from pure wyrdness outside a farmhold sends shivers up your spine. Menhirs, raised by Merlin himself in the Age of Conquest, are said to have different appetites.
Ah, so they want different things.
The one before you seems to best respond to fresh blood, and its thirst is not easy to quench.
I see. Look for a sacrifice, or spill our own blood. We already have a mysterious unhealable wound. Might as well bleed some more. You push the blade deep into your forearm. The cracked stones drink greedily as your head begins to spin.
You feel the Menhir's power surging.
Lost 60 health, gained 5 experience.
Once again, the wyrdness is pushed back. Once again, the land returned to Kuanacht is smaller than before, barely reaching past the furthest buildings of the farmhold.
So we're in a losing situation here. As we get less and less land back each time, the wyrdness encroaches upon us and we can barely stave it off. Something needs to change. Some hero needs to go and do something about this problem. Bystanders disperse and you sit down to catch your breath. Most of the people are now heading for the mead hall to raise a toast for yet another day Kuanacht has brought itself with blood. But as you contemplate joining them, you notice a smaller group of villagers moving towards the abandoned houses at the edge of the farmhold, now safe from weirdness. You catch some words about the wealth they're hoping to find in homes that belonged to champions of Yvain's expedition. It might not be a good idea to see what's happening over there, especially since the knight who rules Kuanacht doesn't seem to be around to stop the looting. Hang on. Oh, they are robbing the place. That's not good. New quest. What is it? New quest is leave. What is our new quest? Nothing is sacred. The crowd gathered around the houses of champions for Lord Yvain's expedition. They were abandoned for a while now. Arthur was like a father to you. The crowd that gathers near his home can't mean anything good. And we have... So that was scapegoat. Yeah, someone set us up. Now, well, the inn, the mead hall. Where's Arthur's home? Ah, it's over there. Okay. Now, health and resolve. We haven't spent any resolve yet. I almost want to save this. And 5 health isn't going to be so much. Fingers crossed, eh? The people gathered in front of Arthur's house argue loudly. Some of them are trying to stop the others from breaking the door down. It seems like the crowd wants to loot the house before the weirdness once again cuts it off from the rest of the town. As much as you hate the idea of robbing your friend and mentor, you can't deny that Arthur is most likely dead, and even if he isn't, with the weirdness clouding round roads and trails, he will be hard-pressed to ever return. I'm not going to let them in. I'm going to send them away and then maybe I'll go in myself. Stop this madness! The man you're trying to rob is just a smith. What will you do with his tools? Scratch your backs? People look at you, then at each other. Finally, one of them speaks. He's right. Arthur might still come back. After all, he wouldn't leave this forge to his loser of an apprentice. I imagine many laugh at that. The burst of laughter helps relieve some tension and the crowd starts to disperse. You keep looking towards the door, hand in your pocket, resting on the old key Arthur gave you. You decide it makes sense to move some of his more valuable tools before the weirdness returns. Let us open the door. Oh, this is grim, isn't it? This is a gritty, dark world. I mean, we're not quite talking David Gemmell dark here, you know. But hey, I like it. You open the door to glance, probably for the last time, at the familiar interior. Everything looks as it always does, but as you prepare to gather tools scattered around a large workbench, you notice a piece of parchment on the floor beneath it. Did the draft carry it from the table, or was it discarded by Arthur? You gained a letter from Arthur. In this short note, your master explains the reason why Yvain did not take you on his quest. The young lord of Kuanacht believed you were too reckless, and he saw your wound as a liability. But Arthur never doubted you. He believes that, should Yvain's expedition fail, you are the second best chance Kuanacht has. Oh yes! I had forgotten that beautiful theme of this game. So yes, we are not playing the heroes in these stories. The heroes have gone out and failed. We are playing what's left over. The people who have to pick up the pieces and try and sort this mess out. Yeah, this is a dire situation. As you finish the letter, you are overwhelmed with sadness, but also pride. You put it in your pocket and quickly finish your work. You gained a broken hilt of Greyblade, and Earthier's rusted chestplate. Ooh! You should probably go to the mead hall before people start suspecting you're looting the place yourself. Quest completed. And now we have new equipment which we should not equip yet, or people will know that we've been in there. We should put this on when we're ready to leave. So, to the mead hall, which is just over here. The moment you enter the mead hall, all eyes turn towards you. Some of the people you met by your mentor's home are here. In front of them stands the maimed knight himself.
You were able to talk sense into these people, to hold things together when tempers ran high. Good.
You shrug your arms. You don't like where this is going, and you do not trust this man.
You might just be the person I was hoping to find. Someone who could handle an urgent task. Guards, escort everyone else outside.
Your hand grasps the letter in your pocket. Your mentor had asked you to step up, but what if they were wrong? You're now alone with the knight, trying not to look at the bandages covering half of his face, or to think about unsettling stories you've heard about him. I believe he becomes a playable character in a later chapter in the board game, and he's like the last surviving knight of Camelot, and he's got the plague, or leprosy or something. And, yeah. That, by the way, they aren't necessarily chronologically. I think like the last chapter in the board game is like travelling back in time to the beginning, and weird stuff like that.
I kept watching you today. I needed to see how well you deal with hardships and obstacles before I tell you the truth.
Is that why you put my name before the offering today? He says, "The time is short. I couldn't wait any longer, and you seemed like the best bet." He points to a letter in your hand. "And this proves I wasn't the only one to think that. Do you want to hear the truth? Do you want to hear the truth?" We shall nod and listen. We shouldn't presume at this point, because we may be very wrong, but it's pretty obvious.
When Lord Yvain left me in charge of this farmhold, I thought the task was beneath me. Turned out it's quite the opposite.
Okay, because it is a mighty undertaking. He looks at his bandaged hands and then turns back towards you.
I cannot travel outside anymore. Will you help me?
Some interesting capital O's here in this line. So what do you want me to do? Are you who you claim to be? Are you really from Camelot? That's how that would roughly be pronounced with the extra emphasis on the O's. I don't know, some people from the town believe you sent Yvain on some fool's errand just to rule in his stead. No, I'm going to go. What would you have me do?
We have to find a way to strengthen the Menhir and buy more time, so that Yvain may finish his quest. Blood is not sufficient anymore. We need another source of power to lay at its feet.
Oh, joy. Where should I look? Any ideas? The clouds of weirdness are still just outside the town. It's impossible to travel. The knight reaches for the satchel at his side and hands you a couple of candles made from strange, dark wax. You shudder. You never thought you'll get to use one of these foul things. They're probably made from congealed blood or worse. Weird candles. Make every one of them count. Some more may still be bought around Kuanacht, but they get scarcer by the day. And do not make a mistake of thinking their light turns you invulnerable. If you keep peering too long into the weirdness, it is bound to look back. His hand touches the bandage on the side of his face. We have gained 5 weird candles. My lord, do you have any ideas where I should look?
In days of old, before the purges, it was druids who took care of Menirs. The one Yvain cast out from the city may still be alive. You may also ask someone who knows a thing or two about objects infused with magic. Your people speak about a witch in the woods to the west. Maybe she knows what could help our stone.
Is this... Yes, it's the same text. Okay. Which we can last stone. Okay. If you don't go out there, no one will. In weeks, the town will be swallowed whole. Don't wait until the weirdness is at our very doorstep. So be it. So we have a new quest. This is turn 2. So it is turn-based. We are managing time. We have a marketplace, observatory, Red Priest's camp, a well. No. I want to move the... Okay, so I cannot move the camera. A lot of things up there. Let's go to that marketplace. The vendor seems to be half asleep at the counter. You cannot help but notice how many spider webs and dust cover the old furniture of what used to be a beating commercial heart of Kuanacht. Should be the beating commercial heart. We have no money, so let's see what he has. Yeah, we have no... These are fine things. Oh, armor. The divider. Oh, these are expensive. Yeah, we're not getting these anytime soon. Okay. Let us now prepare ourselves, however, for our quest. So, the broken hilt of Greyblade is the legendary blade of Kuanacht, or the shattered piece of it that remains. That's an increase in damage and hit chance. I'll take it. As I suspected, no visual change, but that's okay. Can I... No, okay. I can. Beor, you were always a good lad and a great help. I would have closed the forge long ago if not for the strength of your arms and your resolve. Now I feel I owe you the truth. The sagas of old are true. Our island once belonged to a twisted, immortal powers. It was not a place for humans, but Arthur, the first of the kings who landed on these shores with our people, subdued Avalon, inch by inch. He took the Grail from the Four Dwellers and used it to bring seasons and cycles known from our world to this godless place. He also raised guardian menhirs to secure his conquest. Now the menhirs are going dark throughout the land. Something has broken. The spring will not come. Lord Yvain plans to lead me and some other people of this farmhold east to find help in Camelot. Though it pains me, he asked to keep our mission and our departure a secret. If we don't return, it means we have failed, and the fate of Kuanacht falls to you. Yvain didn't want you in our expedition due to your lack of experience and short temper, but I've always believed in you, lad. I know that, if the worst comes to pass, you will do the right thing. Save our people, or if you cannot, try to save yourself. Arthur, Forge Master of Kuanacht. Let's also don Arthur's rusted chestplate. Oh, that's a big increase. Yeah, let's do that. So that didn't increase temporary health, current health. It only increased maximum health. It should have increased because it's being put on top. That why are we now more damaged than we were before? That is unfortunate. Let's consume some food to have a little more health. And let's get those weird candles and put them on the end here. Are we going to sell these off? I think we are. We're still at the marketplace. So there's the old hammer and the blacksmith's apron. Now what have we here? A travel map. Okay. I want... yeah, I'll take 2 of these. And then that should be everything. Now, where next? Well, we have a well. Let's go investigate the well. The water in this well is unnaturally fresh and invigorating. It is drawn from far depths where the weirdness shouldn't affect it. And we have gained 10... What is this symbol? This is... not one that I recognise. Movement. Okay, good to know. So that's kind of like the stables in another game where getting to the stables you get new movement points to go again. Oh, what was that? That was oh, I think I know. Is it King's Bounty, maybe? Or Heroes of Might and Magic, something like that. Let's go to the inn. See if we can meet anyone there. Say our goodbyes before we go. Though no travellers came through Coanacht in weeks, the inn is far from quiet. With mead hall open only for certain occasions, it is the inn that lets people drink away their daily horrors. Don't want to rest. We'll ask for wares. Well, I mean, we should, but we don't have the time. Oh, the innkeeper's peacemaker. Well, that's not cheap. Okay, we'll leave then. Hunter's High Seat, Coanacht's Broch. What's a Broch now? Crazed dog. Oh, I see enemies. Let's do this. This is a bad dog. This is not a tame dog. This has gone wild. And now we enter into combat. Each skill has a lightning bolt cost. Maybe the lightning bolt is just the symbol for the cost. Apart from that, each skill has 2 effects: immediate, such as direct damage, and momentum, influencing the next skill you play. So 4 to 6 damage, lower. Hang on, 4 to 6 damage, lower your non-red runes to 0. And momentum, if the next card is red, it costs 1 less. Okay. Each charge feeds the rune, providing a passive boost. Upon reaching maximum value, rune can be used to deliver its ultimate. It is up to you to consume the rune for the ultimate or to maintain its accumulated bonus. Most skills can charge runes of their respective colours. So we have red and blue. Are there any other colours? There might be later on, but for now it seems like we only have red and blue. This is your enemy's intent. The enemy will cast an effect on you. Okay. So the ram's skull, or is the enemy's going to do something to me? Ram's skull is an effect. Axes is damage. The cross is to heal itself. Okay. The colour under the attack type icon indicates its target. So, for example, means damage to your sanity. So that's resolve by the look of it. Okay. So it's probably going to bark and growl and make a lot of noise and try and scare us. So your skill's effect is momentum. Okay. So selected skill is there. Reduces incoming damage by 1. We should have more than 1 armor as we are using the additional, the extra breastplate. So, this is our chance to avoid all incoming damage from an attack, chance to deal a critical hit, and chance to resist any negative effect. These are the positive and negative effects placed on you by enemies or your actions. There are 4 types, red, orange, purple and green, of negative ones, and all the positive effects are displayed in gold. Okay. What now? Click here to exit tutorial. So we have 2 crazed dogs, that means it looks like the other one's come in and we are wounded. Oh dear. This could end poorly. Right. Defensive stance. If the next card is blue, we don't appear to have any other blue cards. Heal for turn. 3 to 5 damage. Reset all but blue charges. Okay, so we can build up red, then play that. 3 of 3. Use play skills. Current energy 3 of 3. So we can pay 3 skills or 3 points of energy cost. Yes. Okay. Okay. So what do we have? We have defensive stance for 2, so we can use one of these first. Aggressive stance. Okay. Steel Eater. Damage reduce enemy's armor by 6. Well, they don't have armor, so I don't need to worry about that so much. Softening Blow. 4 to 7 damage. Enemy has a negative status. Deals a lot more damage. So, and do we have something that will inflict a status? Swift Strike. I don't know if momentum carries on into the next round. I would like to do this first. So in that case, Swift Strike. Wait. And then... No, I want to do more. Okay, so... Swift Strike, do I select a target? Ah, there we go, good. And then defensive stance, me. Defensive stance, enemy. Oh, because it does do a little bit of damage. We're out of energy, so we're going to end our turn. Oh. That's bad. Duck and run, okay. So we don't want to try hitting, we want to focus on this one. Oh. Ah! 1 and 1. I like it. Okay, right. So, a Swift Strike on you. Then... jab. And then, careful approach. Because we are very badly injured and we need to live. Let's see how they do. Oh! Wow. What's our health? We can't see our health, but it... Oh, there it is. 52 out of 150. Okay. What's this? Draw 1 card. Okay, so preparation is drawing cards. Extra preparation. Shield of Thorns. Nice. So, there we go. Defending. Whirlwind. Damage to all enemies. That should finish that crazy dog off and leave us with 1 foe. End our turn. Okay. Are we going to do 50 in a single turn? Probably. Wow. Lower your armor by 20. Shake the mountain. It's a bit tough for that at the moment. Aggressive stance. No. Softening blow. Next skill has effect. Okay, careful approach. No, we're not gonna... this is tricky now. Okay, let's see. Softening blow. Yeah, he's dodging everything. Steel Eater just for the damage then. Right. Oh, ow. But are you not bleeding? You are bleeding. How wonderful. We really need that. Right. Cleansing Bellow. Remove all negative status. Next time's blue costs 1 less. Shield Slam. Nice. Oh, nice. Shields up. Okay. Now we're getting silly. And then Shield Slam. And I don't even get to play my next card. So we have defeated the 2 wild dogs and gained free food. I hope that's not dog meat. Okay, so we'd like to go to the Broch. Oh, ooh. What kind of, what's this? What kind of, I don't know what kind of turn limit we're on here, so we do need to head out west. Oh, is that a turn used? I believe it is. Well, we might as well go to the observatory. But hold on. Oh, how do we get here? Probably by lighting a candle. Oh, we cannot travel to that location. Let's light a weird candle. I hope I didn't accidentally light 2 there by double... I did. Wow, okay. Climb the tower and light the fire. Lasts for 12 turns. Requires 1 resources, of which I have none. Let's climb the tower. You take a deep breath, welcoming fresh breeze touching your face. The view is clear and allows you to state your position along some of the surroundings. Very well. I don't know if that's helped, but... Oh, how are we supposed to travel here? A lone guard glances at you nervously as you step past the farmhold's gate. I hope you're not planning on bailing on us now that the roads are a little bit clearer. Like this ungrateful foundling did. Who? You know, Niante's herb girl, Isla. She stormed off as soon as you lit the men here. Well, yeah, 'cause she wanted to do it. Did she tell you where she was going? She never tells us when she's sneaking in or out of the farmhold, but this time she went down the path leading to Caraway Inn. If you stumble upon her, maybe you can talk some sense into her. Maybe we should try. Resource pile, Red Priest camp. You know what, let's go to the Red Priest camp. This may be bad. Oh, another dog. The Red Clove tent in Quanacht belongs to the Red Priests. Not many are brave enough to actually speak to members of this reclusive order that dates back all the way to the homelands. The fact that the law of the land lets Red Priests seize anyone on suspicion of sickness probably has something to do with this reluctance. Yeah, no kidding. Don't be afraid, child. We're here to help. Inside the tent, some men and women sit in a thick cloud of choking incense, said to chase away plague-spreading miasmas. Who are you people? He sends you a gaze of disbelief and distaste. How can you not know? But then it seems he settles for an explanation that you're an uneducated villager who only recently found solace in Quanacht. In a patronizing tone he says, "We are the Red Priests, a last hope of humanity, besieged on one side by the Red Death, on the other by the Wyrdness." I thought I was talking to the patients! Inside the tent, some men and women sit in a thick cloud of choking incense, said to chase away plague-spreading miasmas. How are you helping? Actually, if he believes me the fool, I might as well play the part. Well, obviously we're trying to stop the plague and find a cure. It's not much of an explanation, but you know there's nothing new he could tell you about an illness that pushed humans out of their homelands beyond the sea, chasing them all the way to Avalon, and now eats away at their remnants. For some, it is only an incurable disease that turns your entire skin into an open wound. Others came to see it as a force of history, a hand that will erase humanity from the face of the world. Yes, but how do you do that exactly? Again, unusual capital O's. You see a mixture of emotions in the man's face. He's angered by your impudence, yet at the same time happy because of your curiosity. That's not something I can easily explain, not without breaking the vows of my order. The exact work is kept secret by my superiors, but if you're really interested in learning our ways, we are always looking for hired help on the Island Asylum. Strange, sideways, diagonal, diamond-like square thing there. Okay. The Island Asylum. What is this place? Was there supposed to be some kind of voiceover? He sighs, saddened by your apparent ignorance. The island just off the coast, southwest from here. They say it was the first place where humans made landfall in Avalon. We found an ancient necropolis there, carved into three sides of a mountain overlooking a dark grove. We repurposed its halls and corridors as a hospital. The only way in and out of the island is by a ferry. I believe the Island Asylum does feature in the board game, but everything that happens there in the board game will be rather different. His spoiled teeth flash in a smile. If you bear the sign of the plague, there's no fee for crossing to the other side. And also no chance of a return journey, I should imagine. Let us leave. Right. Now. So the candle keeps the... Oh! 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 That's so unfair. Right. Oh, crazy dog. Here we go. Possibly to our doom. Oh no, there's two of them. We're dead. Okay. Careful approach. It's not actually going to help us. Okay, what else have we got then? Aggressive stance. Fine. We'll do what we can. Bloodletter. Bleed for me, monster. And swift strike. Yes. And now we probably die. Oh! Ah, draw a card. We need some defensive abilities. Probably gain that with a second character if we can find her. Okay, shields up. Shields up! And defensive stance. Oh! Ah! I should have played that before. Okay. Oh, it costs 2 anyway. Right, I see. Preparation. We'll have a new card. And end our turn. Oh. I'm gonna shield slam this one, hopefully. Yes! Okay. I could have used shields up first, but I thought I needed to get some heavy attacks and head smasher. You've got plenty of health, so we're gonna go for you. And then... shields up. Oh! Alright. Do any of these build armor? None of these build armor. Right. And then... hopefully, swift strike. And... swift strike. Oh, so close! Oh... that is a light wound, light bite wound, wound duration 1, 5 damage per turn. Yeah, we're just gonna shout. We're like, no, we will not bleed. And then we will kill it. Oh, so rough. 2 experience and some food. We will eat the food. You just earned a new level. You can click C on your keyboard. Well, you don't really click on the keyboard, you more press on the keyboard, or double click on your character portrait in order to buy some new skills. Also, there's a neat surprise waiting for you in the character sheet when you hit level 5. I bet there is. Isn't that if? Alright, so empty upgrade, 1 skill point, 1 skill point. Well, I'll go for the defense because I absolutely need it. I presume this will give me another defense skill. There's nothing here I can take, and here... Sure. Ah! Adaptation. On each hit received in combat +1 armor. I like that. Resistance. 3% resistance. That would be good as well. Quick metabolism. Does not work in alpha. Okay. And what do we have here for attack? Unending stamina. Increases maximum red charges to 12. Okay. Precision. Each red charge +2 critical chance per attack. Okay, so just using lots of red cards. Each red charge +2% critical chance per attack. Okay, so we're going to go for... Oh, these are both good. These are both really good. I think actually going for resistance, long-term benefit over short-term benefit. So it's click and hold to purchase. Alright. And then I would like to get some food down here. Oh, I got a total heal on level. What a great relief. Now what is that down here? The maimed knight. Wait. Hello. Did we gain supplies from that? We... Huh. Yes, we did. Okay. Yeah, let's go to the maimed knight. Because that's totally not going to distract us from what we actually need to do. A lone figure stands hunched by the path leading into Kuanacht's cemetery. You reach for your weapon expecting yet another obstacle, but your grip relaxes as you recognize the tattered cloak and broad shoulders. It's the maimed knight! Suspicions immediately flood your mind. He told you he couldn't go out anymore, but here he is, no weird candle in hand. He had to travel through pure weirdness to get here. The very thought of this chills you to the bone. Yes, he has adapted to it. Watch him. Or greet him. We are playing an angry and impetuous character. While we could watch and learn, let's face him. You make 2 louder steps and grunt to make your presence known. The maimed knight doesn't turn towards you, but he acknowledges you with a nod. I did not expect you here. Were you following me? Wasn't there something else you were to do? I also didn't expect you here. Weren't you supposed to stay in Kuanacht? Well, this is where people of my farmhold honor their dead. You have no place here. No, I'll go with this. Weren't you supposed to stay in Kuanacht? I was, but I wanted to see this place one last time. Why? Do not change the subject. Why are you here? Were you following me? This is where people of my farmhold honor their dead. You have no place here. What makes you so sure? If only... He stops half-word and takes a long breath. Never mind. I'm not going to reward your insolence with my secrets. The maimed knight turns around and walks away into the weirdness. I'll see you at the farmhold. Please make haste with your search. Grimfire Goblet. Ooh. You stare into the lazy flame, almost hypnotized. You think you hear a cracking whispers come... Sorry, you think you hear cracking whispers come out of the brazier after a while. They wish for a human bone. I'm not going to give them one of mine. I ain't got one. I'm not going to dig one up either. No. That would be most inappropriate. But I am going to visit a witch. Up here. Reeve Witch of Kuanacht. Yes, let me in, witch. This witch was supposed to be a piece of local folklore that wet nurses used to scare little brats into submission. Now, as you stand in front of her place, you feel a shiver coming down your spine. Was she real all the time, or did the weirdness conjure her from your own town's myths and legends? That is a very good question. That's very Mythigo Wood. I like that. Whichever is true, her devastated old ruin of a house looks like a piece of nightmare. Even though there's a faint candlelight coming from inside, everything about this place screams, "Run away." We must enter. We are on a mission, a quest. You barely make one step towards the door when a weird claimed monstrosity pounces right at you from the dark. A wolf walker. What do we know of wolf walkers? Versatile opponent that will place a life drain effect on its target when pushed down. Uses uncured effect to fully regenerate. Oh, so I need to be curing effects repeatedly. Crikey, and it's pretty tough as well. Bleed, will you? Oh, is it uncured effects on me or my foe? There's a good point. So these are lowering charges, but they're not building charges yet. Okay, so we go shields up, and we're done. Okay, it hasn't put any effects on me. It's still bleeding. So we go for a wait. Preparation. Stick. Dodge, critical hit, and resisting effects. 10 armor. Let's reduce its armor. Nice. Oh. So we've got just 2 swift strikes from a preparation. We'll go with swift strike because I'm not sure the cards carry over to next time. And Shield of Thorns. Okay, let's do it. Yes, bleed more. The enemy has a negative status, so we will go for the softening blow, because that hits quite hard. Then a swift strike. Then shields up. We want to survive this onslaught. Okay. Let's reduce opponent armor again. I don't know how long those reductions are going to last. Bone coat, plus 10 armor, okay. Shield slam. And then a jab. I could have theoretically done the jab first for the extra armor, but I was trying for the extra critical hit chance there. Oh, we have a nasty life drain. Enemy is preparing a special attack. Kill him or remove the effect. We will remove the effect! And then... Head Smasher. It is stunned, so jab, as opposed to shields up. Alright. So we're doing kind of okay here. Defensive stance. Reset all but blue charges. So that'll get rid of our... So what do these do exactly? Passive. For every charge plus 10% damage, plus 3 armor. Okay. So resetting drastically changes the combat flow. That's a good start. Lower your non-red runes to 0. So we'll be lowering our armour. We can't use defensive stance after. Ah! Can we kill? We kill! We are victorious! And gain food. With the beast dead, there's nothing preventing you from entering the hut now. Let's go inside. Let's examine the beast first, see what we can learn from it. This may be our first time seeing such a creature. You carefully flip over the fresh carcass. Weirdness twisted this creature almost beyond recognition, but long times ago it was probably some sort of a guard dog. You gained an experience point for that. Now let's go inside. The door creaks. You step inside only to be stunned by a loud bang and a sudden flash of light. Your ears are ringing. Among the smoke, a silhouette of a hooded woman waves her hands, performing what looks like magical gestures. Let's wait. She may have thought we were the monster outside. Her mysterious incantations soon change into more discernible curses.
You bloody fool! Do you even realize what you've done? Without my pet, the next weird bear to come this way will simply barge in.
You look back towards the creature you killed outside and you suddenly feel a pang of shame.
Get out of here before you do more damage.
25. Oh my goodness, now that. Please. It attacked me first! Indignance, yes. That's gonna help the situation and diffuse. Yeah, right.
Yes, it did. What it was trained to do. That doesn't change the fact I'm now in trouble caused by you.
We don't have all this wealth. Please accept my apologies. It's all I have.
Yes, I'll be sure to remember you're sorry as the beast of the weirdness ripped me to shreds.
The vitriol in her words could eat through a steel plate. Tell of Koanat's plight. We can work out a deal. If you help Koanat, we can send some guards to protect you here. Okay, I killed your guardian. What can I do to settle the score?
There might be a way to undo the damage you've done. I know of a geis I could use to bind a new guardian to this place.
She thinks for a while.
There's one ingredient you have to bring me, Fort.
Fort is the ingredient?
The black tongue of a man hanged for his crimes.
Where will I find such a man?
A couple of weeks ago, when the trail was still open, a patrol from Camelot caught and stirred up some brigands not far from here. Look for a great lone oak.
Oh, I see enemies by the oak tree. There is hanging bodies and one that does not dangle.
Either that or you could wait until someone in your farmhold deserves a good hanging. Just keep in mind the crimes need to be real.
So be it. However, with that, I think I'm going to end the episode and then find out if I can save. Hang on, I've got new. Oh, choose a new skill. Lovely. Force opening. 5 to 19 damage if critical, applied bleeding. Momentum. The next card is blue, gain 5 armor for remainder of battle. Reposition. Stun enemy, discard all cards, draw 5 new cards. Okay, so just clearing the board and resetting everything. Relish battle. 5/9 damage to all enemies, gain +1 red for each enemy hit. I'm going to go with force opening. And with that, I really will end the episode. I hope you've all enjoyed this one, and I will look forward to seeing you all in the next one if I am able to record one. Let's see how loading and saving goes. But for now, I'm going to say bye-bye, chaps and chapasses. Cheerio.